line. What's your thoughts on the offensive line in the first round of this draft?
Man, it's one of those, if you truly believe whatever they played in college, they have to stay at when they go to the pros, this isn't this is a crazy thing then, because you only got really 2 true left tackles and the rest are all right or play center. But I think if you can open your mind up and realize, hey, some of these guys can really switch. I know everybody got scared about the Jed Willis thing,
Of course.
but I think Spencer uh, Fano, I mean, he played left tackle his freshman year, then went right because Lomu showed up.
Mm-hmm.
I think he could do both, and he even took snaps at center at the combine
Right.
just to give some versatility show there.
Yeah.
And
Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
and I truly believe, like, there's a couple of them that can do that. You know, my yoga probably can switch, even though I think he might get pushed into guard. Proctor, I'm not big on Proctor. I think he's a heel clicker. I think he acts like he's wearing ruby slippers or something. Plus, I've seen him get pushed around too much. Like,
Especially
this
for being
guy's
what,
so big.
360, 370. Like he's just got
Yes.
no dude, the fact that somebody mentioned one time, I heard something like a week ago, they're like, oh, the Browns like him at 6. I was like, I will turn in
Yeah,
my jersey.
yeah. This Brown, I'll put this thing
Yeah,
on.
you're making it really, really hard to be a Browns fan if you're taking Proctor at 6.
Man,
But
that's like 20 spots ahead of where he should go. So,
yeah, you bring up a lot of good points, and it's one of those things where in a draft where I think really the more second, third, and fourth round picks you have, the more likely you are to find a good football player, and the more first round picks you have, I feel like you're more likely to find a bust in this draft.
yeah.
It's interesting though. Before the combine, Monroe Freeling, people were talking about him being a late first round pick, Lomu
Mhm.
early second round pick, and you weren't even hearing the guys. Oh shoot, one of them played at Strongsville. I'm trying to think, the tackle from Clemson, right tackle from Clemson.
Oh, Blake Miller.
Yeah, Blake Miller. You weren't even hearing his name. You weren't hearing I can't even pronounce Max.
Max,
Yeah, Mad Max.
or something like that.
Yeah, you weren't even hearing their
Yeah.
name when it came to the first round at all. And then all of a sudden, things start changing, and now we got like 7 or 8 offensive linemen going into the first round, and it's like I feel like that's just people. I think that's where analysts are just looking at it and being like, this team needs an offensive lineman, this team needs an offensive
Yes.
lineman, so let's just put them all to first round picks.
It's like an
Uh,
Oprah Winfrey show.
yeah,
You get all I can
you get
chew.
a tackle. So I was interested in, we did a deep dive because we were going to do a whole show on just offensive tackles, or at least like a 30-minute segment on it. And we did a deep dive. So obviously there's more offensive linemen in the NFL than any other position. 80
Yes.
and 82% of them were not like drafted in the first round of the starters in the league.
Oh, yeah.
And it's also one of those things where the average PFF grade of a rookie tackle and then his average PFF grade by year 5 is like 20 points higher, because it just takes that long to develop to the NFL. Because, I mean, let's face it, you're not facing a Myles Garrett. Here, if you're in the North, you could have been facing Trey Hendrickson, Myles Garrett, and TJ Watt back to back to back. Your PFF rating against those 3 guys is probably going to be in the tank if you're whoever you are. So, it's hard to judge a guy coming out of college. It's not like early 2000s, and once again, dating myself there, early 2000s, I felt like, when you had like the Joe Thomases, you had Walter Jones, like you had bona fide tackles, left tackles. They only played left tackle, and they were like top 5 picks.
Yeah.
Now it's like we just kind of push people up there because everybody needs a left tackle to protect their
It's a
quarterback.
need. Yeah. Just a need, not something that you want to really spend that kind of pick on. But now everyone's like, oh, well, we got to because we need this right now. Even though, again, like you said, some of the best offensive linemen have come from the 4th round and on. Like,
Yeah.
you get 6th round offensive linemen and they're just studs. Just
Well,
nobody pays attention.
and for the Browns, the other reason I don't think they're going to draft a tackle in this first round is the fact that you just invested in 4 new offensive linemen, right? You just spent a whole ton of money on it. Now you're going to have to spend another bunch of money on a first round pick on an offensive lineman, or you still have DeJuan Jones, who's coming back from injury for the second year in a row. But if he's healthy and he's strong, like he's proven he can play the position at an adequate clip. And you try to build that offensive line. Hopefully, you got the right coaching. I mean, frankly, we weren't talking offensive line the year before last because Bill Callahan had that team like squared away.
Yeah.
Like they were the best in the business. When he leaves and Teller all of a sudden becomes a liability, it starts to you start to realize how important coaches are, I think, in that offensive line room.
And I agree, and that's why I think we'll probably grab more versatile offensive linemen like Dunker. That dude can play 3 positions. So if someone goes down and we know how this works for us, usually we're running out to the parking lot and grabbing trash cans saying, "Can you stand here real quick?" But Dunker can play center, guard, and tackle. I think we're gonna go more that way. Like, if you got a guy that can play a couple different ones, great. That's what we want because injuries happen all the damn time.
Of course, of course, and plus he's got a great mullet that just screams
Oh,
Cleveland all
dude.
over it.
There's a nickname, we call him the Ginger Plow.